Genesis, the priestly document. In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. And the earth became formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the spirit of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. And Elohim said, "Let light come to be." And light came to be. And Elohim saw the light, that it was good. And Elohim separated the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, one day. And Elohim said, "Let an expanse come to be in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And Elohim made the expanse, and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it came to be so. And Elohim called the expanse heavens. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the second day. And Elohim said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it came to be so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and the collection of the waters he called seas. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the plant that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth." And it came to be so. And the earth brought forth grass, the plant that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the third day. And Elohim said, "Let lights come to be in the expanse of the heavens, to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and appointed times, and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the expanse of the heavens, to give light on the earth." And it came to be so. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And Elohim set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the fourth day. And Elohim said, "Let the waters teem with shoals of living beings, and let birds fly above the earth on the face of the expanse of the heavens." And Elohim created great sea creatures, and every living being that moves, with which the waters teemed, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and increase, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the fifth day. And Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth the living being according to its kind, livestock and creeping creatures and beasts of the earth according to its kind." And it came to be so. And Elohim made the beasts of the earth according to its kind, livestock according to its kind, and all that creep on the earth according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping creatures that creep on the ground." And Elohim created the man in his image. In the image of Elohim he created him, male and female he created them. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said to them, "Be fruitful and increase, and fill the earth and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over all creeping creatures on the earth." And Elohim said, "See, I have given you every plant that yields seed which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it is for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to every creeping creature on the earth, in which there is a living being, every green plant is for food." And it came to be so. And Elohim saw all that he had made, and see, it was very good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their array. And in the seventh day Elohim completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day, and set it apart, because on it he rested from all his work which Elohim and created had made. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with Elohim. And Noah brought forth 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth was corrupt before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. And Elohim looked upon the earth, and saw that it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And Elohim said to Noah, The end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And see, I'm going to destroy them on the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you are to make it. The length of the ark is 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make a window for the ark, and complete it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. And see, I myself am bringing floodwaters on the earth, to destroy all flesh, in which is the breath of life from under the heavens. All that is on the earth is to die. And I shall establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you and your sons, and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of all the living of all flesh, 2 of each, you are to bring into the ark, to keep them alive with you, a male and a female. Of the birds after their kind, of the cattle after their kind, and of all creeping creatures of the ground after their kind, 2 of each are to come to you, to keep them alive. As for you, take of all food that is eaten, and gather it to yourself, and it shall be food for you and for them. And Noah did according to all that Elohim commanded him, so he did. Of the clean beasts, and of the beasts that are unclean, and of birds, and of all that creep on the earth, 2 by 2 they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as Elohim had commanded Noah. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second new moon, the 17th day of the moon, on that day all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the heavens were opened. On that same day Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wives, and the 3 wives of his son with them, went into the ark. They and every life form after its kind, every beast after its kind, every creeping creature that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark to Noah, 2 by 2, of all flesh in which is the breath of life. And thus going in, male and female of all flesh, went in as Elohim had commanded him, and Jehovah shut him in. The waters became mighty, 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered, and the waters were mighty on the earth, 150 days. And Elohim remembered Noah and all the beasts, and all the cattle that were with him in the ark. And Elohim made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided. And the fountains of the deep and the windows of the heavens were stopped, and the rain from the heavens was withheld. And in the 7th new moon, the 17th day of the new moon, the ark rested on the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased steadily until the 10th new moon. And in the 10th new moon, on the first day of the new moon, the tops of the mountains became visible. And he sent out a raven, which kept going out and turning back until the waters had dried up from the earth. And it came to be in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the new month, that the waters were dried up from the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and saw the surface of the ground was dry. And the second new moon, on the 27th day of the new moon, the earth was dry. And Elohim spoke to Noah, saying, Go out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every life form of all flesh that is with you, of birds, of cattle, and all creeping creatures, the creeping creatures on the earth, and let them teem on the earth, and bear and increase on the earth. So Noah went out, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping creature, every bird, whatever creeps on the earth, according to their kinds, went out of the ark. And Elohim blessed Noah and his sons, and said to them, Be fruitful, and increase, and fill the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you is on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the heavens, on all that creeps on the ground, and all fish of the sea. Into your hand they have been given. Every creeping creature that lives is food for you. I have given you all as I gave the green plants. But I do not eat flesh with its blood, flesh with its life, but only your blood for your lives I require. From the hand of every beast I require it, and from the hand of man. From the hand of every man's brother I require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood is shed. For in the image of Elohim has he made man. As for you, be fruitful and increase, bring forth teemingly in the earth and increase in it. And Elohim spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, And I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every being that is with you, of the birds, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, of all that go out of the ark, every beast of the earth, and I shall establish my covenant with you. And never again is all flesh cut off by the waters of the flood, and never again is there a flood to destroy the earth. And Elohim said, This is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living being that is with you for all generations to come. I shall set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. And it shall be, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud. And I shall remember my covenant which is between me and you, and every living being of all flesh, and never again let the waters become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I shall see it, to remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living being of all flesh that is on the earth. And Elohim said to Noah, This is a sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. And sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer and Magog, Madai and Yawin, Tubal, Meshach, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Rephath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Yawin were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. From these the coastland peoples of the nations were separated into their lands, every one according to his language, according to their clans, and into their nations. And the sons of Ham were Cush, and Mitzrayim, Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush were Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, Rama, Sabteka. And the sons of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. These were the sons of Ham, according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands, and in their nations. The sons of Shem were Elam and Asher, and Arpachshad, and Lut, and Aram. And the sons of Aram were Uts and Hul, Gether, and Mash. These were the sons of Shem, according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands, according to their nations. These were the clans of the sons of Noah, according to their generations, in their nations. And from these the nations were divided on the earth after the flood. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his birth in Kasdim. And Abram and Norham took wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Yishkah. And Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terah took his son Abram and his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, his son Abram's wife, and they went out with them from Kasdim to go to the land of Canaan. And they came to Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah came to be 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. And Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the beings whom they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. And they came to the land of Canaan, and the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their possessions were great, so that they could not dwell together. Thus they separated from each other. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her female servant, the Mishrian, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan. And Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram called the name of his son, whom Hagar bore, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abram. And it came to be when Abram was 99 years old that Jehovah appeared to Abram and said to him, I am El Shaddai, walk before me and be perfect. And I give my covenant between me and you, and shall greatly increase you. And Abram fell on his face, and Elohim spoke with him, saying, As for me, look, my covenant is with you, and you shall become a father of many nations. And no longer is your name called Abram, for your name shall be Abraham, because I shall make you a father of many nations. And I shall make you exceedingly fruitful, and make nations of you, and sovereigns shall come from you. And I shall establish my covenant between me and you, and your seed after you in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be Elohim to you and your seed after you. And I shall give to you and your seed after you the land of your sojournings, all the land of Canaan, as an everlasting possession, and I shall be their Elohim. And Elohim said to Abraham, As for you, guard my covenant, you and your seed after you throughout their generations. This is my covenant which you guard between me and you, and your seed after you. Every male child among you is to be circumcised, and you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall become a sign of the covenant between me and you. And a son of 8 days is circumcised by you, every male child in your generations, he who is born of your house, or bought with silver from any foreigner who is not of your seed. He who is born in your house, and he who is bought with your silver, has to be circumcised. So shall my covenant be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And an uncircumcised male child, who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, his life shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. And Elohim said to Abraham, As for Sarai your wife, do not call her name Sarai, for Sarah is her name. And I shall bless her, and also give you a son by her. And I shall bless her, and she shall become nations. Sovereigns of peoples are to be from her. And Abraham fell on his face and laughed. And he said in his heart, Is a child born to a man who is 100 years old? Or is Sarah, who is 90 years old, to bear a child? And Abraham said to Elohim, Oh, let Ishmael live before you. And Elohim said, No, Sarah your wife is truly bearing a son to you, and you shall call his name Yitzchak. And I shall establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. See, I shall bless him, and shall make him fruitful and greatly increase him. He is to bring forth 12 princes, and I shall make him a great nation. But my covenant I establish with Yishak, whom Sarah is to bear to you at this appointed time next year. And when he had ended speaking with him, Elohim went up from Abraham. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all those born in his house, and all those bought with his silver, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskins that same day, as Elohim told him. And Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. Abraham and his son Ishmael were circumcised that same day. and all the men of his house, born in the house or bought with silver from a foreigner, were circumcised with him. Thus it came to be, when Elohim destroyed the cities of the plain, that Elohim remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot had dwelt. And Jehovah did for Sarah as he had spoken, at the appointed time of which Elohim had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son, who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Yishak. And Abraham circumcised his son Yishak when he was 8 days old, as Elohim had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Yishak was born to him. And Sarah lived 127 years, the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah, and to weep for her. Then Abraham rose up from beside his dead, and spoke to the sons of Heth, saying, I am a foreigner and a sojourner among you. Give me property for a burial site among you, so that I may bury my dead from my presence. And the sons of Heth answered Abraham, saying to him, Hear us, my master. You are a prince of Elohim among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our burial sites. None of us withholds from you his burial site from burying your dead. So Abraham rose and bowed himself to the people of the land, the sons of Heth. And he spoke with them, saying, If it is your desire that I bury my dead from my presence, hear me, and approach Ephron, son of Sohar, for me, and let me have the cave of Machpelah, which he has, which is at the end of his field. Let him give it to me for the complete amount of silver, as property for a burial site among you. And Ephron dwelt among the sons of Heth. And Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the hearing of the sons of Heth, all who entered at the gates of his city, saying, No, my master, listen to me. I shall give you the field and the cave that is in it. I shall give it to you in the presence of the sons of my people. I shall give it to you. Bury your dead. And Abraham bowed himself down before the people of the land, and he spoke to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, saying, If only you would hear me, I shall give the amount of silver for the field. Take it from me, and let me bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying to him, My master, listen to me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between you and me? So bury your dead. And Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out the silver for Ephron, which he had named in the hearing of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, currency of the merchants. Thus the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field and the cave which was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, which were within all the surrounding borders, were deeded to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all who went in at the gate of his city. And after this Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. Thus the field and the cave that is in it were deeded to Abraham by the sons of Heth as property for a burial site. And these are all the years of Abraham's life which he lived, 175 years. And he died in a good old age, aged and satisfied, and was gathered to his people. And his sons, Yishak and Ishmael, buried him in the cave of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the field of Ephron, son of Sohar the Hittite, the field which Abraham purchased from the sons of Heth. There Abraham was buried with Sarah his wife. And it came to be after the death of Abraham that Elohim blessed his son Yishak. And these were the names of the son of Ishmael, by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebaioth, then Kedar, and Abdiel, and Bisam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, Hadar, and Tema, Yeter, Naphish, and Kedemah. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these were their names by their towns and their settlements, 12 chiefs, according to their tribes. And these were the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he breathed his last, and he died, and he was gathered to his people. And they dwelt from Havilah as far as Shur, which is east of Mizraim, as you go toward Ashur. He settled before all his brothers. And Yishak was 40 years old when he took Ribkah as his wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Aramean of Paddan Aram, the sister of Laban the Aramean. And when Esau was 40 years old, he took his wives, Jehudath the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Basmath the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and there were a bitterness of spirit to Yishak and Ribkah. And Yishak called Yaakov and blessed him, and commanded him, and said to him, Do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Paddan Aram, to the house of Bethuel your mother's father, and take a wife for yourself from there, from the daughters of Laban your mother's brother. And else should I bless you, and make you fruitful, and increase you, and you shall become an assembly of peoples, and give you the blessing of Abraham to you and your seed with you, so that you inherit the land of your sojournings, which Elohim gave to Abraham. So Yitzchak sent Yaakov away, and he went to Paddan Aram to Laban, son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Ribkah, the mother of Yaakov and Esau. And Esau saw that Yishak had blessed Yaakov, and sent him away to Paddan Aram to take himself a wife from there. And that as he blessed him, he gave a command, saying, Do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. And that Yaakov obeyed his father and his mother, and had gone to Paddan Aram. So Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan did not please his father Yishak. And Esau went to Yishmael, and took Mahalath the daughter of Yishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife, besides the wives he had. His property of the livestock which he had acquired in Paddan Aram, to go to his father Yishak in the land of Canaan. And Elohim appeared to Yaakov when he came before Paddan Aram, and he blessed him. And Elohim said to him, Your name is Yaakov. Your name is no longer called Yaakov, but Yishrael is your name. So he called his name Yishrael. And Elohim said to him, I am El Shaddai. Be fruitful and increase. A nation and a company of nations shall be from you, and sovereigns come from your body. And the land which I gave Abraham and Yishak I give to you, and to your seed after you I give this land. And Elohim went up from him in the place where he had spoken with him. And Yaakov set up a standing column in the place where he had spoken with him, a monument of stone. And he poured a drink offering on it, and he poured oil on it. And Yaakov called the name of the place where Elohim spoke with him Bethel. Now the sons of Yaakov were 12. The sons of Leah were Reuben, Yaakov's firstborn, and Shimon, and Levi, and Yehuda, and Issachar, and Humel. The sons of Rahel were Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rahel's female servant, were Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's female servant, were Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Yaakov, who was born to him in Paddan Aram. Now the sons of Yaakov were 12. The sons of Leah were Reuben, Yaakov's firstborn, and Shimon, and Levi, and Yehudi, and Yishachar, and Humel. The sons of Rahel were Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rahel's female servant, were Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant, were Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Yaakov, who were born to him in Paddan Aram. And Yaakov came to his father Yishak at Mamre, or Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Yishak had dwelt. Esau took his wives from the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Holibamah, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Sibon on the Hittite, and Basemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebaioth, and Adah bore Eliphaz to Esau, and Basemath bore Ruel. And Oholibamah bore Yeush, and Yalam, and Korah. These were the sons of Esau, who were born to him in the land of Canaan. And these were the names of the chiefs of Esau, according to their clans and their places by their names: Chief Timnah, Chief Awa, Chief Yetheth, Chief Oholibamah, Chief Allah, Chief Eno, Chief Kenez, Chief Teman, Chief Mithar, Chief Magdiel, Chief Aram. These were the chiefs of Edom, according to the dwelling places in the land of their possession. Esau was the father of the Edomites. And Yaakov dwelt in the land of his father's sojournings in the land of Canaan. And Joseph went out over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and went throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And they took their livestock and their property, which they had acquired in the land of Canaan, and came into Mitzrayim, Yaakov and all his seed with him, his sons and his sons' sons, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed he brought with him to Mitzrayim. And these were the names of the children of Israel, Yaakov and his sons who came into Mitzrayim. Reuben was Yaakov's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben were Hanok and Palu and Hezron and Carmi. And the sons of Shimon were Yemuel and Yamin and Ohad and Yakin and Sohar and Shaul, son of the Canaanite woman. And the sons of Lewi were Gershon, Kehath, and Merari. And the sons of Yehuda were and Onan and Shelah and Peretz and Zerah. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Peretz were Hetzron and Humel. And the sons of Issachar were Tola and Puah and Job and Shimron. And the sons of Humel were Sered and Elon and Yahileel. These were the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Yaakov in Padam Aram, with his daughter Dinah. All the beings, his sons and his daughters, were 33. And the sons of Gad were Shephanan, and Hagi, and Shuni, and Etzbon, Eri, and Erodi, and Ereli. And the sons of Asher were Yimnah, and Yeshua, and Yishwi, and Beriah, and Zerah their sister. And the sons of Beriah, Heber, and Malchiel. These were the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bore to Yaakov 16 beings. The sons of Rahel, Yaakov's wife, were Joseph and Benjamin. And to Joseph in the land of Mitzrayim were born Menashe and Ephraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potipheri, priest of On, bore to him. And the sons of Benjamin were Bela and Becher, and Ashva, Gera, and Naam, Evi, and Rosh, Mupin, and Huppin, and Ard. These were the sons of Rahel who were born to Yaakov, 14 beings in all. And the son of Dan, Hushim. And the sons of Naphtali were Yatziel, and Guni, and Yetzer, and Shelim. These were the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban gave to Rahiel his daughter, and she bore these to Yaakov, 7 beings in all. All the beings who went into Yaakov to Mizraim, who came from his body, besides Yaakov's sons' wives, were 66 beings in all. And the sons of Joseph, who were born to him in Mizraim, were 2 beings. All the beings of the house of Yaakov, who went to Mizraim, were 70. And they had possessions there, and were fruitful and increased exceedingly. And Yaakov lived in the land of Mizraim 17 years. So the length of Yaakov's life was 147 years. And Yaakov said to Joseph, El Shaddai appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said to me, See, I am making you fruitful, and shall increase you, and make of you an assembly of peoples, and give this land to your seed after you as an everlasting possession. And now your 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born to you in the land of Mizraim before I came to you in Mizraim, are mine, as Reuben and Shimon, they are mine. Your offspring, whom you shall bring forth after them, are yours, and let them be called by the name of their brothers in their inheritance. And he commanded them, and said to them, I am to be gathered to my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron the Hittite as a possession for a burial site. There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. There they buried Yishak and Rivkah his wife. And there I buried Leah. The field purchased, and the cave which is in it, from the sons of Heth. And when Yaakov ended commanding his sons, he drew his feet up into his bed, and he breathed his last, and was gathered to his people. And his sons did to him as he had commanded them. For his sons brought him to the land of Canaan, and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre, which Abraham bought with the field from Ephron the Hittite as a property for a burial site.